Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm in my recording studio at Immortal Studio. This is where we record the podcast and stuff, and also my decks and stuff. And sometimes I sit and draw. So I thought I'd make a video just to show you some of the drawing processes went into the RB200, because it sort of looks like I just sort of make it up as I go along, the modifications as it were. But I have put a lot of thought into it, like right from the very start. So I've came up with a way to show you. So I've made a folder of time lapses of the drawings that I've been doing throughout the whole process, really, of getting the car and starting to visualize what I might do with it, because I always knew that I was going to mess with it, you know what I mean? I never need to leave anything untampered with. I've been drawing right back from the very start. What I'm going to show you is right from the start of us getting the car. So I'm using a iPad Pro. I wish I had one of these back when I was messing on with cars years ago. Obviously you can see in the screen record now, that's a image of a RS200. I was just getting these pictures off the internet and playing with them. I didn't have any photographs of my own yet. So first of all, I just got this image of a back end, and I was messing about with lights, because lights seemed to be something that needed to be changed. I do want to do something with them. It's something that we've not done yet, but this one already had an over spoiler on it. It's a Group S car, not a Group B car. Obviously I'm using an app called Procreate, which we use as tattooists. Just means that we can, it's just a drawing app, but that's what a bit like Photoshop, I guess, but it's more for drawing. So you see I've changed the roof scoop there, and that's one of the early things that I've been thinking about. And obviously you can see I've added, I started to add side skirts, and I'm putting an over spoiler on, with a vent on the wing there, changing the shape of the rear side vents as well, vent in the rear quarter. I mean, imagining these as like carbon additions to the car. When I've mentioned carbon packs in recent videos, you know, there's stuff like that, little trims, vents and stuff, darkening down the windows, and that little bit on the top of the window there, it's sort of like a bit of sun strip. That's mimicking the shape of the vent on the bonnet, which I've also done with the headlights, and I'm also messing on with it at the back as well, that profile. You'll see that at some point. So the obviously messing on with the spoiler, just rendering it a little bit. It's just helping us visualize what it could look like. Obviously this is drawn over the top of an RS200, so it hasn't got the MR2 doors in it or anything, but colours, you'll see, I'm thinking a red stripe right the way around it, on the panel line. And the vents, just to go back to the roof vent, like to take away the ears, as it were, and make it one vent going right the way across. I call them ears, the little pods, ear pods. So this is at this sort of stage, I'm like tightening up the line drawing now. Essentially I could do a tattoo from this now. This would be a similar process in designing a tattoo, you know, you've refined the design. So now I've switched to two car image, back and front, again just off Google. I'm putting that over spoiler on the bottom one, changing the roof vent, putting a diffuser on the back as well. That is something that's coming. I want to cut the back, and Jonathan's saying, "No, don't cut the back, leave it like that, and we'll do a separate panel for the back," which it was a good point. So side skirts, I've not done this as yet. It's not that I won't. Messing on with the backlights again there. Like a carbon kit on the bottom of the side skirts, so I definitely want to do that. Really want to start messing with carbon. Am I on the top car yet? No, yeah, there we go. I'm now started on the... So you drop the opacity down of the car in behind, and you can see of that layer, and you're sort of drawing in layers. What's going on is I'm like the lights will be a different layer, the diffuser will be a different layer, and I can mess on with them all individually. But I'm essentially just drawing it on the screen and colouring it in. So I'm doing the front splitter there on the top image. Just putting some shading in, just making it look a little bit more realistic. I mean, these are all like rush jobs as well, I'm not like trying to get it perfect or anything, but it's just to help me visualize what it could look like if I did this. So cleaning up the background and then just getting rid of that. So messing on with the lights again. The top ones look like they're flashing there because of the thing. Yeah, finishing off that front splitter, and then that's that one. So that was pretty much week one of us getting the car, getting the kit for the car. I hadn't even started anything yet. This one was I've mentioned an Evo kit. So this is again an image of a RS200. It is the Evo, and I'm drawing over it again, getting an outline, messing on with the rear diffuser, putting an extra bit of flick, changed the scoop altogether at the top. At this point I've just laid it over an MR2 just to see what the RS200 actually does lay over the MR2 like, and it's pretty close, isn't it? So you can see where the MR2 is such a good car for messing on with. So what I've done there is essentially mimicked the shape of the top vent, or rather the rear quarter vent, into the rear quarter panel, so that it creates like an arrow. I've lengthened out now. If you notice the front bumpers sticking out the way, that's how the front bumpers ended up. It's not quite as sharp as that, but that is how the front bumpers ended up. And with an extra carbon kit on the bottom of it, because it's sort of set up for that, then it will look very similar to that. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that I've drawn has happened. It has came to reality. I haven't changed the roof vent. I haven't done that flick on the rear spoiler. I've put some arches on it there. I haven't done that. And yeah, it's quite a cool image though, with the reflection of the original car underneath. But again, just playing with what it could be like. It's just fun to draw this stuff and explore the possibilities. So this is now getting a bit further on into is having the car, and I'll just go back there. So that's the car when I cut the 200SX rear bumper. If you want to go and watch that video, we'll put a link there or there. That's when I'd put the 200SX bumper part onto the RS200 bumper, extended it down the way. Looked kind of cool and chunky, but it was a bit numb, and I was trying to get rid of the flat front, and that had kind of added to it in a way. So anyway, I was drawing over that to see what I was, create a bigger mouth on it, and visualize what that looks like. And I'd already there was a couple of other doodles previously that I'd, thinking about this, and the black in the bottom bit to extend it all the way down. I've also done some other drawings of different front ends. I messed on quite a lot with it actually. Should have put them into this folder. So yeah, now at this point, back to there. So that was it on the original bumper, drawn on the original bumper and drawn over everything. Oh no, that's it with filler on. At one point it's the old car, and then yeah, at that point it changes to the actual car, and I have cut it out, and now I'm just messing with the shape. So it's come out. I'm really pleased with the front bumper, but that's how I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be painting the bottom part a bit black, probably right the way down, but it does create a different effect if you leave that front edge white. So there's a bit coming up in a sec where we have a look at the colour that I might be going with. There we go. Not for this one, but well, maybe for this one, I don't know. What do you think? I want to paint it like a bright teal, so and with a crimson, like teal and crimson, so they go really nice together. So did you see the little let's go back here where it got a little face at some point, didn't it? Where is it at? Here we go. It's only like 3 frames. Isn't that funny though? You could have like, there's such a face on it. It's really has got a face. So, but that's not where its mouth is really, or is it? Its mouth's the bigger vent below. Anyway, the stuff you see in cars there. What do you think of the colours? What do you think? Doesn't look right on there, but yeah, that's more of a peppermint, somewhere between peppermint and teal. In that sort of tone. I think it'd look good. I don't know about the stripes, but obviously there would be the stripe up the side of the car to do. And the wheels are already red, which is, I've never had a car with red wheels before, so that's sort of spun us a bit because I like them. Didn't think I'd like them. Right, so we're on to the back end now. So here I am messing on with lights again. I get a bit crazy here just to see where we can take it, but I mess on with the lights a little bit. And then I'm doing a spoiler here, like that comes off the cutouts with the rays. You know, that this is the plan, that it's going to sit like that. It's going to be supported from those points. If we do a higher spoiler, it would sit about like that, and then this is as just drawing in a solid up and over, but I didn't like it, and I went and put the would awesome if it was a carbon, the active aero piece that's going to go in between the two rear spoiler cutouts. Just wind back a little bit there. That's the little ducktail spoiler going on, which I just like it. It's just added to the back so much. Even though it's so small, it's so when you look at I'll just go back a bit. When you look at the top vent on the roof vent, and where the window would be essentially black, well, not black, but dark, and there's a white bit going across. If I paint that bit black, it gives you that sort of look, which again is slightly mimicking that. I want it to be at the similar angle as the bonnet vent again. And then the ducktail does the same thing from the bottom. It has that profile as well. So then dropping down onto the bottom of the clam and this diffuser, I started, now this is kind of a tricky one, this. Hang on a minute. There we go. Right, before, after. So you can see I've panelled up the outer vents and cut out the excuse me, the centre for the diffuser. Now, I can't do it as wide as that because the chassis legs are there. I've had a look at the car and I can't do it as wide as that, but it would be of that process. Now, one of the things that I've wanted to do with the car is make it look more modern. what would an RS200 Mark II look like, or an RS200 if it was made today look like? Not in 2020, you know, to 2030, 2040, a future car, but something a little bit more up to date with stuff that's going on. It's not like concept car stuff, but I want it to look a bit more fresh. So taking away those vents and putting a big diffuser in, it kind of looks good there. I like it, but it will have to be a little bit narrower. But you'll see, I mess on drawing it on here. There's the RB200 logo. Just drawing the exhausts in there. And then we'll go to this view. Now, when you look at it from this view, it looks massive. Like it looks totally different. So see how useful this is going from one side to the other. That's the number plate that I want. I love that number plate, but it's on an old truck apparently. So yeah, it's a heck of a vent. It's a heck of a rear diffuser. I like it. I don't have to make it that high either, but I kind of like that it is that high. It's sort of like really obnoxious, which I like. So I don't know about that yet. Still playing with. It could just be done without even cutting the back and just have it sat in between the rear wheel arch area. So that's that one, and again you can see from that angle the carbon spoiler and that as well. Not that it's carbon yet. Right now then, here we go with this is us messing on with the Evo kit again, but this time I've moved the vent down onto the side skirt only. It's not interfering with the rear clam at all. So this is why I'm saying, like, there's options. This could be a manufactured side skirt which would change the look of your car from what it is at, you know, my car as well, from what it is at the minute to something else that it could be very easily just with a side skirt. Obviously I'm blasting colour on there just with the airbrush, and put the pinky tone in the wheels, QR code on the side of the car. I think that's my most savage bit of marketing I've ever come up with. Again, the carbon trims on the bottom, RB200 logo on the side skirt there. So, and my pink aerial as well. Now let's get to I may as well get to the end of this. There's one thing that I really like about this that I'm nearly done. Got the diffuser on, just finishing off with the colours and that, and some highlights. But taking the background out, tightening up the spoiler, putting the rear light on. See how easy it all is. I mean, I could sit here for hours and hours and you know, make it super realistic and what have you, and zoom in and do all these little details, but I don't need to for what I need. But yeah, the bit that the side profile, I'm absolutely in love with this area here up at the roof vent, and the window reveal, the way it comes round. Notice how, like, putting the black pillars, the air pillars, and then the black area going into the vent, and having that ridge across the roof, as it were, it just like makes it look really mean. I absolutely love that. And this is, I've said about the Stormtrooper, I kind of want it to look like a Stormtrooper, and I want the highest contrast to black to white for the initial like car, because I want to see what that looks like first, and then, you know, I'm gonna have to play with it. But the black contrasting against any colour, if you follow that round on the window and then you go into the vent, that bit at the bottom where I've came around the bottom of the vent, and the black line then flows up to essentially to meet the roof line, which is in line with the window rubber line. So there's like this, that had to meet somehow because I want it black inside the vent to exaggerate the size of the vent. And the way that hooks round and draws back up into the line that was never there before, so like you couldn't see this line until we cut that part of the kit away, and now you can see the body line of where the clam meets the roof. And I've spent a lot of time getting them to align in a cross. They need to all line up. So and that was just a little added bonus. The black accents on the car are gonna accentuate the shapes and the vents, and you know, even the roof vents, I'm looking at just doing it black through it to create the look of that one piece vent that you see on the first video, the first screen recording. Just messing on with these shapes, and obviously like now colours as well. What do you think of the colour? I know it would be not the normal. I'm not doing it. I would never ever do it the rally colours or anything like that. So I'm not into that. I'm not into copying things. That's not art. That's not creating something. And that's what I do. I create things. So you can't create. Well, you can create a copy of something, but like I don't want to make something a copy. To me, this is creation. This is art. This is a sculpture, and that's been the process so far. I mean, there's a load more videos and drawings that I've done that I could screen record, and because it remembers everything that I've done, so it's pointless. I just think that those are a good example. It shows like that I've been thinking about it very consistently right from the very start as well, because it's been a long time now. But everything that's happening now, that I'm drawing, most of that was there at the start. The front bumper changes and the chopping out of the spoiler were. I knew I was going to change the bumper, but I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I hadn't thought about it. And the back spoiler thing was just happened. Oops. So, but yeah, and the up and over as well. I mean, on this picture here, that's still a possibility. I like it coming off the sides, but at the minute we've set it up to come off the middle. But it doesn't have to. It can still come off of the sides, and you can still have the active aero underneath it. Either way, I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. And yeah, I just thought I'd show you this as how I'm visualizing the car could be, and how the design process along the way. I have just been making it up as I go along. I've been like doing something at the garage and then coming home and like doodling on the iPad. You know what I mean? But so it has been a evolving process. I think the theme of it has stayed very similar right the way throughout it. So the next thing, when we get to the end of the bodywork, is the engine and the gearbox. Let's talk about the gearbox. Yeah, it's an automatic. It's how it came, but it's quite an unusual automatic. I've not seen one like this before, so Jonathan's quite fascinated. So it's a manual gearbox that has a mechanism that is doing the shift for you. It's not, as far as we can work out, it's not an automatic gearbox as such. It's got something operating the clutch, and it's got something changing gear for you, according to Jonathan. So if that's the case, the next question would be, can we make it change gear faster? Because it's quite lethargic with the way it changes. It's just be interesting to see if we could do that. If you could, then who doesn't want a clutchless semi-automatic, sequential gearbox, because it is just up, down, down, so if we can make it work better, it could actually work quite well for general use. I drive an automatic anyway, so in the Jaguar, and you get in a manual car and you think, why the hell has this thing got gears? In a sports car, obviously it's usually better to have gears, but if your up down's good enough, then why not? You can't feather the clutch, but anyway, we're gonna have a mess on with that, see if we can do something with that. And then there's obviously the engine in it at the minute is reportedly 250, 300 maximum potential before things are going to start destroying themselves. So in the future, I'm looking at an Audi swap, but I think for now we're just going to stick a turbo on this and get it to about 240, 250, and it's enough for a little car like that. This car is almost certainly going to be for sale pretty soon after it's built, to help move forward with the project. So we've got a lot of time and money to invest into this if we're going to really set this up as a business and start selling these kits. So that'll help fund that, premises and stuff like that. And that's another reason why I'm going to keep it white and not do this car to the spec that I'd maybe like to, because I'm going to sell this one to fund the next one, and the next one we are going to do an engine swap of it on it, so probably to the Audi 18T. But if you've got any suggestions as to what to put in it, just fire it in the comments, because I'm really open to it. What do you think of an electric swap? Like stick a Tesla in it, or I don't know. There's Jonathan says that the ECUs now, the DTA ECUs that he uses, are able to take over the whole programming of an electric motor, and like work as like a speed controller and all that sort of stuff. So you're able to map the motor essentially through the DTA ECUs, which is mind-blowing, and it'd be quite fun having a play with electric, like in a non-electric shock sort of way. Yeah, so do we go electric? I'm so tempted just to have a play with it, because there's all this talk about it, and I'd like to, I'm curious to see if we can break it. Well, not so much if we can break it, but you got to test these things to see if they break. I don't mean I'm going to break a motor or the car or anything. I mean the theory of does it make sense? I don't do a lot of miles, and if I was just going backwards and forwards to the garage and I was charging the car up, it might work out really cost effective, because I'd almost never need to go to a service station or anything. So I could plug in here, I could plug in at the garage, so it might make absolute sense on short journeys. So the obviously the spontaneous combustion issue that happens with electric cars is an issue, isn't it? But what's your thoughts on electric? I think it would be really cool electric, but then it's there's the sounds and stuff as well is very important when you look at a car like that. But because it looks different, can we change the expectation of what it sounds like as well? So it would look even more like a bumper car, wouldn't it, because of that aerial that I'm putting on. Oh, as well, I have said it at some point, but just on the screen recording there, we can, if you want to zoom in on this area here in the middle of the screen there on the bonnet, and probably on the the back there, just behind the back window in front of the rear spoiler, we're gonna, this is more just for like show stuff, just for fun, you know, you go to a car show and we do this. We're gonna put magnets in the underneath the clam, fixed to the inside of the clam and the bonnet, and 3D print the pegs like what the radio controlled cars have for putting the body onto the car, with a big R clip on it. So it looks like, and then obviously with the aerial, it's going to look like a giant radio controlled car. I'm such a child, but you know, it's I still play with. Well, I don't know, yeah, I do actually play with Hot Wheels. Play with being like going broom broom, you know. Ow! I'm always playing with stuff, so I flat refuse to grow up, to be honest with you. And this is just playing as well. This is just art to me. These videos that I'm making, I'm not making them for you. Well, the videos are, but I was already doing the stuff anyway. I've just brought you along for the journey, you know. So I wanted to make videos which I enjoyed watching, because I watch this sort of stuff on YouTube. So hopefully this was a video that you enjoyed watching, and if it wasn't, maybe you'd like to go and watch one of these videos. But yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Hope that explained the design process reasonably well, and yeah, I'm enjoying like unfolding all the ideas, so I hope you're enjoying watching it. But that's where my head's at, so this is way into the future. My head's, you know, that's where my head's at, really, moving forward, and obviously bringing these kits to market. We've got a business to set up, so but yeah, I'm super excited about it, and it's a dream come true, isn't it? You know, like it's certainly another chapter of my life and my passions and my hobbies and my businesses. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Right, thanks guys, press the buttons and all the good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.